Hey guys, how you doing? Welcome to the Vice vlog. Yeah, it's just going to be me this week. I had a lot of stuff going on. As you can tell, I'm not even sitting on the set, which I don't know if you'll be able to see it. You can see the top of the green screen back there. I'm just doing a quick and dirty video right here on my phone. I hope the audio is okay. If not, I'll try to clean that up as much as I can. But I wanted to talk about a couple of different topics. The first of which is the family here in central Indiana that is suing JUUL because their son got addicted to nicotine using a JUUL. This is kind of like Darwinism takes its course kind of thing. I'm ashamed to say this case is coming out of Indianapolis. I really am. It's embarrassing. This will be the only time you ever hear me supporting JUUL, all right, or showing any kind of support for JUUL. But I hope JUUL fights this case, doesn't settle out of court, and tells this family to fuck off. But their claim is that their son used a JUUL, which for those of you that don't know, JUUL contains salt nicotine, which is a much higher concentration of nicotine. I mean, we're talking up to 50 milligrams of nicotine, and it's pretty fucking rowdy. All that aside, but he used a JUUL, got addicted to nicotine, and their claim is that when he bought the JUUL 2 years ago, which would have made him 15 at the time, when he obtained this JUUL, the packaging didn't have the nicotine warning on it, showing that nicotine is addictive. I can't. I mean, that's like me suing a drug dealer after I slam a hot shot. I didn't know I would get addicted. Not that I know anything about any of that. I'm too fat to have a drug habit. I buy cheeseburgers, not dope. Well, I done got lost in my own stupidity. I'm 99% sure that when he was 15, two things. He didn't buy it from a legitimate retail establishment, and two, when he obtained this JUUL, it wasn't in the factory packaging to begin with. Well, and actually a third one. He's 17 now, 15 at the time. Why the wait? Why did they wait 2 years? So I smell bullshit all the way across this lawsuit. And I hope they lose. But it's like smoking at a gas pump. Oh, I didn't know the gasoline would catch on fire. So anyway, that's really all. I just wanted to really talk about that, guys. I encourage you, always do your own research on these things. Pull up the information. But yeah, they were claiming that the nicotine warning wasn't on the packaging. It's fucking nicotine. We've only been screaming it from the mountaintops for decades that nicotine is addictive. If you are too stupid to teach your son, that's not the industry's problem, nor is it JUUL's problem, or nicotine's problem for that matter. Of course he's going to get addicted to 50 milligram nicotine. And the other part of the lawsuit, not to get too much deeper into this, but that he's having withdrawal symptoms trying to quit. Well, no shit. You went from not consuming any nicotine whatsoever to, like, as far out as you can go. So yeah, you're going to have a little bit of a problem. But that's the beauty about vaping, though, is when you come into a legitimate establishment, a legitimate shop, you can step down your e-liquid. All right? You have choices. You have people to educate you. If you're of age. God, let me throw that disclaimer in there before I just get lit the fuck up. All right? So, anyway, guys, moving on. Let's talk about all this shit everyone has been hearing about hospitalizations and lung damage and all of this shit. As a matter of fact, I hit the Indiana State Department of Health on it earlier. They posted another vague bullshit status on Facebook about how vaping is the enemy and, you know, we need to warn against the dangers of vaping. And I commented on there, I said, how about honest disclosures? How about telling the truth? How about, reporting what actually happened? How these people got hospitalized? Because I can guarantee you it wasn't from this shit. All right? By the way, shout out to VSR for this beautiful gem right here. Tucker, I'm going to need some more of this, bro. I'm finally getting towards the bitter end there. It's just good. Moving on. I can guarantee you it wasn't from this shit. They didn't get hospitalized chucking fat clouds. Didn't happen. All right, at least chucking fat clouds from some bomb-ass e-liquid that was legitimately and correctly and cleanly made, that they purchased legally from a retail store or even an online vendor. You know, it didn't happen. And there was a little bit of juice that just went everywhere, apparently, in the top of that cap. That's what I get for trying to be stupid. Guys, honestly, call out your local news outlets if they're posting these generic vaping is the enemy, people hospitalized from vaping. What were they vaping? What gear were they using? What e-liquid caused this whole issue? Because that's the one thing that hasn't happened yet. Because you know damn good and well with how lawsuit crazy everybody is these days. Like, and I'm sorry to the Cool Breeze Vapor and Vapor Lock team, but I'm going to use you as an example. Because you know damn good and well, if someone said they only vaped Vapor Lock, as an example, that there would be a lawsuit against Cool Breeze Vapor and Vapor Lock. But so far to date, in all of the research I've done and all of the articles that I have read, no specific e-liquid has been named. What does that tell you? That they are vaping some random bullshit that their friend whipped up in a kitchen, a dirty kitchen at that. Or another possibility is that they are using a, what do you want to call it, a black market THC cartridge. Again, that someone haphazardly whipped up, and it's dirty. It got contaminants in it, and it's making them ill. All right, it's causing some issues. Also, the news articles that I've seen that are accurately reporting that it was in fact a THC cartridge, they're then trying to paint THC as the enemy. And so that's where my first story and the second story kind of tie together. JUUL isn't the problem. Nicotine isn't the problem. THC, in and of itself, isn't the fucking problem. It's all these people that go out have their buddy make them something, and it's hurting you. It's causing a lot of these issues. It's putting your asses in the hospitals. All right? It's not e-liquid. It's not VSR. It's not vapor lock. And no, I'm not going to throw another bottle just in case it leaks. It's all these shitty products that you're buying off your buddies that they say they got off another guy who knows a guy whose cousin deals in Colorado or whatever. Because if you truly understood this industry, you would know how heavily regulated this industry is and how heavily regulated it's becoming. All I know is that out of millions of vapors the world over, there hasn't been one legitimate case brought against vaping. Not one. No popcorn lung, nothing. All right? A couple people got hurt. We talked about that in the last week's episode. The exploding mods and things like that, which I don't have mine handy. Hang on. Tube mods, mech mods. As a matter of fact, what makes this one even more special to me, and why I am extremely careful when I use this, is here's the top cap of the mod where the RDA will screw on, where one of these guys right here will screw on. It's what they call a hybrid connection. All right, instead of having like a separate pin in here, you screw that RDA on here and you're making direct contact with that battery. Which, not to say that the pin itself, if you have just a regular mech mod or something like that, not to say that that pin itself provides that much protection, but things can get really crazy, making direct contact with that battery if you aren't super careful, if you don't know what the fuck you're doing. All right? So I like mech mods. I use them. And as a matter of fact, I got this big bad motherfucker right here. I mean, this thing is an absolute monster. Oh, it's still got an RDA on it. But, I mean, it's a 26650 double stack. It is absolutely insane. I think I've used this twice. Not gonna lie. With as experienced as I am, I mean, I'm no manipulated metals. I'm no, the fuck's his name? Twisted Messes. I'm not a super coil builder. I'm not a coil building god, but I know enough to where one of these really won't hurt me. But this one scares the absolute shit out of me. It gets rowdy. I mean, one of these can hurt me. That's why I don't really use it all day, every day, all this, that, and the other. I rock a tank on a regulated. All right, I got battery protections, short circuit protections. Anything goes wrong, I'm for the most part okay. All right, I'm okay. But back to my point, so far there hasn't been a legitimate case brought up against vaping. Everyone's half-assed opinions. Oh, vaping is horrible. It's worse than cigarettes. Do your research, please, for the love of God. You can read medical reports from Public Health England. The reports are published. Free to read. In the time it takes you to write that stupid-ass status or comment, you could have read it. You could have looked it up. There's no excuse. In today's day and age, in 2019, there's no excuse to be this fucking stupid. That's all I got. All right? That's it. Sorry for ranting, but I just wanted to talk about those things. And, yeah, that's it. Next week, we'll be back at the table, back on set, both TJ and myself. But until then, from me to YouTube, peace out.